Good evening, people. Chris Graham here. We Love Betting. Looking back at the weekend, it's my weekend review, stats review of the weekend. And I'll kick it off. We're talking about a lot of things I referenced on my Friday video, looking ahead at the weekend, looking at some of the key stats going into the games, and most of them have held up. Most of those stats held up. We talked a lot about the historical head-to-head record, head-to-head dominance from one team over another, and most of those held up. Norwich still unable to beat Fulham 0-0 there on Saturday. Fulham unbeaten in 12 now against Norwich. March 86, the last time Norwich beat Fulham. My favourite one was Brighton, who have this amazing home record against Hull. That continued. They beat Hull 1-0. No one in 19 for Hull at Brighton now. 1965, the last time Hull won in Brighton, and they've only won there once in 21 all-time games. One record that did get bust though was Notts Forest lost a long unbeaten run against Bristol City away from home at Bristol City's ground, Ashton Gate. Bristol City won that 2-0. And that's their first home win over Forest in 15. 1974 was the last time they beat Forest. So a bad day for Notts Forest, and the manager couldn't even be bothered to turn up either. So a pitiful day, really, wasn't it? Another one. One of the things I talked about was Stoke Reading game, and back in Stoke to be leading at half time, perhaps Reading winning at full time or even a draw. It didn't quite come off, did it? But Reading sort of played their part in proceedings by scoring again in the last 15 minutes. 14 of the 33 goals this season have come in the last 15 minutes, 43% now, which is by far the best in the Premier League. Aston Villa finally got a win. I was so happy for Paul Lambert, winning 2-1 at West Ham. But again, they conceded in the second half again. They've conceded 70% of their goals now in the second half. West Ham scoring late on, I think it was the 88th minute, wasn't it, that own goal. Another late goal conceded for Aston Villa, but they did hang on and take the 3 points to the relief of many at the Holte End, and of course Paul Lambert, that's for sure. Last one for the Premier League, Man United against Everton. Never mentioned this on Friday because it was such a short price, but obviously Man United continuing their very strong dominance over Everton at Old Trafford, unbeaten in 20 games now against Everton at Old Trafford. August the 19th, 1992, the last time they lost to Everton at Old Trafford, 3-0 defeat that night. And for you trivia fans, Rhythm is a Dancer by Snap was at #1 that particular Wednesday evening. Moving on to the Championship 1 game. This is the fun one. If you like fun stats, you'll enjoy this. Blackpool 2, Millwall 1. What's the big deal, Chris, about that? Well, I'll tell you. That was the 5th consecutive game Blackpool been involved with. It's ended 2-1. 5 Blackpool games in a row, and they've all ended 2-1, either 2-1 to Blackpool or 2-1 against Blackpool. But a funny restart that. I thought it was worthy of mentioning. Let's skip on straight on to League 2, and highlighting two teams with very, very strong trends. Burton, we've mentioned them before, such a strong home side. They won again at home on Saturday, beating Rotherham 2-0. I only mention this because Rotherham had won 4 in a row away from home, so that was like a tough fixture for Albion, but they won 2-0 away, 2-0 at home, sorry. They're the best home side in League 2. 36 points they've accrued this season at home. They're top of the home form table, 22nd in the away table, which is absolutely extraordinary. But Burton, again, a solid bet when they're at home. Exeter, I don't think I've ever actually mentioned this, but boy, there's a very strong trend about Exeter. I'm sure you know it, and that is their amazing away form. They humped Morecambe 3-0 on Saturday at Morecambe. Amazing. Morecambe 0, Exeter 3. Morecambe were unbeaten in 10 at home going into that match. Exeter, though, that was their 10th away win this season. They've won 49 points this season. 17 have come from home fixtures, 32 away from home. So Exeter, such a strong side away from home. Burton, amazing at home. And finally, Scotland. What did I tell you? I'll give you one tip for Scotland this week. Dundee United against Hearts. Both teams would score. It's happened in the last 8 games at Tannadice. Rip that up. It's happened in the last 9 games at Tannadice now. Dundee United 3, Hearts 1. Jackie McNamara kicking off very well at Dundee United. He's began his career wonderfully well, the ex-Celtic player, Dunfermline player. and they beat Dundee United beat Hearts 3-1 at Tannadice, which was great news for both teams to score backers like myself. That was my stats review of the weekend. See you later.